You know how to make people stop playing card games with you?
Okay, I'm ready to play some poker.
No. Not you. Not you. No. No. You show them this card trick. You're gonna shuffle up the deck, deal out the cards, and give yourself or anyone else the best poker hand. It's so good that people will hate you. Alright y'all, so check it out. For those of you who are curious, by the way, these are the Royals limited edition playing cards by Pocket Aces. Look nice and shiny. And not even just the tuck ace, the cards themselves are gilded. Generally, whenever I handle like gilded playing cards, they don't handle well at all, but I'm surprised by how well these actually handle. But anyway, so the whole purpose of this card trick is to teach you deception on how to cheat at cards and how a card mechanic like myself would go about doing it. So we're gonna start off by first giving the deck a bit of a shuffle, just because that's what is literally expected of everyone at this point. Let's say give it a shuffle like this, and now we're dealing a 5-card poker hand to 5 people. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 2, 3, 4, and 5. All right, now that we've dealt out these cards, the one thing you have to realize is when you're the person dealing and you end up winning all the time, people are gonna suspect you of cheating. So I didn't give myself the greatest hand. I actually didn't give anyone here a good hand. But what I did is I'm gonna keep myself a partner, okay? This guy to my right is going to be my partner, so he's gonna be dealt the best kind of hands. So let me show you how this control kind of works, right? So in this hand, he has the 8 of diamonds, queen of clubs, ace of clubs, king of spades, and 4 of spades, right? That seems like a pretty solid hand. Let's focus on just one card, the king of spades. You can see the king of spades is the 4th position from the top, 1, 2, 3, 4, and here we have the king of spades. I'm going to show you how we can control that king of spades to the exact same position that it's just at. Now watch carefully, we're going to shuffle up the decks all over again, and we're going to try this out. So let me take these cards. Again, we're going to give the deck somewhat of a false shuffle so no one actually knows what's going on, maybe something like this, and then we'll even end it with one cut. And now again, we're going to deal out 5 hands to 5 people, or 5 card hands to 5 people. 3, 4, and 5. Alright, so check this out. Again, I'm not going to have the greatest hand. My hand's probably trash. None of these guys probably have good hands. But then there's my partner, right? Like I said, I was going to control that one card to show you exactly how the cheater would do this. If we look 4th from the top, we still have the king of spades, right? That's pretty impressive. But what's even more impressive is not only do we have the king of spades, we also have the jack of spades, the 10 of spades, the queen of spades, and the ace of spades. A full royal flush. Now I think that's a win. What up, crew? It is Magic Monday, and this is your place to learn magic, master your performance, and captivate audiences. If you're joining me here for the first time, hey there, my name is Vinny, and I go by CardMechanic here on YouTube. The card trick that I'm sharing with you today is known as Subconscious Poker from Card College Volume 2, and it's created by J.K. Schmidt. The key of this trick is dependent on your ability to do the overhand shuffle. It's definitely on the easier side, but it's so awesome how it works. So before we dive right into the tutorial, make sure you smash that like button, hit subscribe, grab your favorite deck of playing cards, and now let's do it. Alright, yo, welcome to the tutorial. Just some more background on the background I already gave you. Like I said, it's called Subconscious Poker, but I did make a modification to the trick. So while the whole premise and the I guess the output is exactly the same, the method that I'm using to get there is slightly different, just because of personally how I like handling these cards. But I'll talk about later in the video on the original trick and I guess the method of doing it. Again, it's very similar, just slightly different. The other thing, this trick can be performed in one of 2 ways. One, it can be done as a setup card trick, or 2, you can get into the setup while doing another trick or while prepping, or right in front of the spectator. So I'm gonna again talk about the setup method first, and later on in the video, then I'll talk about how you can get to it impromptu while you're already doing some kind of performance. And lastly, the thing I want to talk about is you should know how to do an overhand shuffle. Because if you don't know how to do an overhand shuffle, this could be rough, right? This is all you gotta know how to do. Ready? I believe in you. Alright, so let's talk about the setup version using my variation on the original method. You're gonna grab any royal flush that you want. I like using the spades, especially with this deck. I mean, come on. Tell me those don't look nice. Like, look at that. Like, nice, shiny blue color. The only thing that would make this better is if it was purple. That's about it. Alright, you're going to start off with those 5 cards on top. Now, the whole thing about this trick, right, is you want to kind of sell the effect as I'm going to demonstrate how to cheat. And you can kind of craft a story around that. You can kind of use my performance that I did as a template. I mean, I'm going to be completely honest, it was not the best performance to showcase how it's done, but you can use that as a starting point. and build your effect off of that. So you have those 5 cards on top, right? Now you're telling the spectator that I'm going to demonstrate how to cheat at a game of cards. And as you do that, you give the deck a bit of a shuffle, and this is going to be an overhand shuffle. And of course, an overhand shuffle, you're going to toss over a small packet of cards. You want to make sure it's at least 5 cards, and this is a controlled overhand shuffle. You're going to toss over a small packet of cards, and now you're going to count off single cards, right? So one at a time from this hand to go into this hand. And as you're doing your counting, you're peeling off 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You're going to now do an in jog, so push this back. Not a whole lot, so it's obvious, but just back a slight amount. I'm going to exaggerate just a little bit so it's easier to see on camera. And you're going to continue doing any kind of shuffle right on top, or continue doing the overhand shuffle right on top. And what you can do at this point is, once the deck has been shuffled, you can say, now usually people end with a cut, so you can kind of transfer the grip from here to here. And you're going to push down and forward here, and you're going to grab a break, as you can see right there. Split at that point, put that down, and put that down. And at that point, you've pretty much controlled 5 cards, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 cards on top of the royal flush. Let's do that one more time up to speed just to show you what it looks like. Basic point is that you want to learn the technique and then make it look as natural as possible. So once you've completed this, now you start dealing off those cards. So again, you tell people it's 5 card poker with 5 people. Deal out 5 cards to each person, of course, including yourself. Okay, at this point, what I like to do, I put the deck over to the side, and I tell the spectator, being a card cheat, you cannot give yourself the best hand all the time, because then people would suspect you of cheating, which as a cheater is the worst possible thing. Once your reputation is ruined, that's it, it's all over. So what I quickly like to do is like to just flash my cards, like say I got a couple of random cards, but I'm gonna find a partner, right? So I'm gonna have a partner in my cheating crimes, and we're gonna take the guy to my right as my partner. You can, make this whatever you want: Bill, Chuck, Jane, Hammy, whatever you want to call the person. And you show them these cards, and you show them the cards that the spectator has. Now you're going to focus your attention on the 4th card here, right? 4th card from the top, 1, 2, 3, 4. 4th card from the top is the Jack of Spades. So you tell the spectator, let's focus on this card, right? We have 7 of diamonds, Ace of diamonds, 5 of diamonds, Jack of Spades, 10 of clubs. And I like to read out the cards, so it kind of takes any kind of suspicion away that some kind of cheating has been done and everything seems very random. So I just show the spectator, so here we have the Jack of Spades, and I like to turn it face down, and I tell them that it's the 4th card from the top of the deck, right? 4th card from the top of the deck. And I put that back down. And now you're going to start picking up the cards. And as you're picking up the cards, you tell the spectator that we're going to try to deal that exact same card to the exact same position to my partner again, just to show you how the cheating would work. What your goal is now is to pick up all these packets, but you want to make sure that this packet is the 2nd packet from the top. So what I like to do is I grab this packet first. I like to grab with both hands. I grab the top left packet first, then I go to the top right packet. As I'm grabbing the top right packet, I come here, grab this packet, and then I grab these 2 packets with my hands, make it seem a little messy. You want to make sure the cards don't go into each other. Grab these packets, and then I close everything up, and I return it back to the top of the deck. At this point, the deck has been set up. If you deal out right now, you'll get exactly what you want, but you need to give the deck another shuffle. Otherwise, it seems a bit suspicious, and it seems like you're not doing anything. It seems like it's all self-working, which you do not want it to be self-working, because you're demonstrating your ability, or a CardMechanic's ability, to cheat at cards. So an easy way to do this is you're going to toss over about half the deck. Again, overhand shuffle. Toss over half the deck, right? Because you have to keep the top 25-ish cards in place, because we have those 5 hands. So you toss over about half the deck. Again, get that break, in jog, and then you can overhand shuffle over the rest. Now you have one of 2 choices. You can either do a cut or break at this point and pretty much move this to the top, which I don't really like to do. So again, I'm just going to do the cut, get that break there as we talked about last time. Give the deck a cut, because that's how it's usually done. And now you're going to deal off those cards again. Right, at this point, you're done with the rest of the deck. You have a bunch of these piles built up, but you are going to go to your accomplice here, And you can even show off, like you can see my cards are trash. This person has trash cards. Again, if you want to do that, base your performance off what you want to do. And then you pick up the spectator, or not spectator, your accomplice's cards, and you tell them, fourth card, like I said, I was keeping control of, what was that card? The Jack of Spades, I believe. So you can see the Jack of Spades, it's still fourth from the top, which is pretty amazing. But not only that, then I like to take this Jack of Spades, put it up to the front, square it all up, and show not only do I have the Jack of Spades, but I also have the Ace of Spades, King of Spades, Ten of Spades, and the Queen of Spades. I've given my partner a royal flush. And that's what's up. So for the advanced method, of course, the cards are not set up beforehand. So what you need to do is get into the setup. One easy way to do this, or one, I wouldn't say easy, but one way to do this is to do the Road Runner call, right? And this is pretty much a spread call. If you don't know how to do the call, I'll put the link to it on the screen. But you're going to do the Road Runner call where you're taking each card. You're taking, like for example, here I have the Queen of Spades. I'm going to call it to the back like this using my middle finger and ring finger. Move it to the back. And every time I get to the royal suit or the royal spades, I'm just going to call them back. So that was Jack of Spades. If we find more, there's the Ten of Spades, call that to the back. There's the Ace of Spades, call that to the back. And then there's King of Spades, call that to the back. Close everything up, and you can see those 5 cards have now been controlled to the top. Of course, this is going to require a lot more practice, and you also want to make sure as you're doing these calls, it's not visible in the back. So for example, if I'm doing the call here, you want to make sure that this card is not seen being like pulled out like this. So that's something you need to practice, is smoothing out that pull. Again, you can still kind of see that, but you kind of want to practice smoothing out that pull, right? So it's not too visible. But from there on, it's going to be exactly the same as I showed. Now let's talk about the original method of how this trick is done. I feel like this is probably a bit more difficult, and it might be worth it for you, but I just like doing it my way better. So you start off with those 5 cards on top, or you control those 5 cards to the top, whatever you're doing, your royal flush. And now you're going to do an overhand shuffle. And again, you're going to shuffle those 5 cards over. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You make that break, continue doing the shuffle. And now you're going to bring this break right back up to the top. So now you've controlled those five random cards on top of your royal flush. But now you need to control 5 more cards. So you're going to have to repeat that shuffle one more time. So again, you may want to make sure you toss at least 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Make that break, continue doing the shuffle. And now you do the cut. So at this point, you've controlled 10 cards on top of the original selection. And now when you do this, 1, 2, 3, 5, let's quickly speed through this. Once you do this, now you're going to show the center packet. Your accomplice is going to be the person, well, I guess not center, but 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, the third packet. And you're going to show that. And you're going to draw the attention to the middle card here. So you're going to draw the attention to the 10 of spades and pretty much talk about the exact same thing that we did. And now when you're cleaning up the cards, you want to make sure that this 10 of spades packet is going to be the center packet. So as you're picking up, again, I like using 2 hands just because it makes things seem, I don't know, a bit more messy and random. So again, now our 10 of spades should be like dead center. As you can see, 10 of spades is dead center. We return that back to the top, and we're going to do the exact same shuffle I talked about. And then you're just going to deal out, right? Deal out one more time. And then if you take a look, this guy right here in the center, his center card will be the 10 of spades, but that's not all, because he also has the full royal flush. So that's the original method of doing it. And regardless of what method you choose to do, no one will play poker with you or be friends with you after this one. Who needs friends anyway, right? Like you saw, this trick requires a heavy use of the overhand shuffle. Now, a while back, I made a mini masterclass on how to do the overhand shuffle with a bunch of controls, so if you want to check that out, you can click on this video right over here. I don't mind. Thanks so much for spending your time with me. Love you guys. Hope you enjoyed this video. Have a great day ahead, and I hope to see you in the next one. Deck drop.